What's up, everybody? This is Mario, and I'm back with another episode of Talking Endurance and Mastery. And yesterday, I went on a 20-mile run. And then this morning, I was scheduled to go on a 5-mile run. And what I want to do is I want to talk to you about just something that I learned and something I was thinking about on my 5-mile run after 20 miles yesterday. And just like I always do, I'm going to tie it back to you. So I'm going to roll the trailer and then we're going to get into it. Do you want to complete an endurance event and elevate all areas of your life, but you don't know where to start? Then you're in the right place. Talking Endurance and Mastery is a podcast to help you create a vision and take steps towards your goals and dreams. I'm your coach, Mario Minner. I've completed events like Ironmans and ultramarathons, but I believe the true benefit from endurance events is how they help you become the best version of yourself. Join me as I share stories, lessons, and interview guests to help you apply endurance and mastery principles into every area of your life. Are you ready? Let's go. All right. So yesterday, I went on one of my longest runs that I've gone on in the past like 2 or 3 years. And that's because I'm less than 1 month away from Everesting 29029 and about 8 weeks away from my 50-mile ultra marathon. And just looking at Strava, which is what I use to track my workouts, I feel like I had an awesome run yesterday. It was Saturday morning. I was looking forward to it, and it was kind of the way that I set my tone for the rest of the weekend. And just looking at my mile times, I basically averaged, 840, 830, 845, 845, 849 through the first 10 miles. And then after that, I picked up the pace and I was averaging 805, 820, 8 minutes, 811, 753, 755, and then around 826 on the last mile. And overall, I averaged an 8 minute and 29 second pace, which is really good for me, especially given that it was 20 miles. And another sign that I look for on a long run like that is that on the second half of the run, my times were better than on the first half of the run. And that's just a signal to me that I had really good nutrition. I had a good night of sleep the night before, and it just signaled to me that I was in really good shape. And even after the run, I wasn't super fatigued. I was able to go to the playground right after with my daughter Ellie and with Emily. Uh, got some food in me, drank some Pedialyte, had a protein shake, refueled, took a shower, regrouped, and then we ended up going to an apple orchard and kind of had an awesome time the rest of the day. And it's always super encouraging to start off your weekend with a big, long run like that. And so, since I had around 20 miles yesterday, my workout for today that I had scheduled for myself was only 5 miles. And I figured it would be a really easy, 5 miles. But as I laced up my shoes and I started to get out there, within about 30 seconds, I knew that this was not going to be an easy run. My legs felt pretty heavy. I was just kind of fatigued. I was tired. And it almost felt like I was like hungover a little bit. And it was very clear to me that early on that this was going to be tough. And after about a few minutes, I even thought maybe I should just take the day off. Maybe I should just, kind of turn around and head back and just, kick my feet up and relax the rest of the day. But I, just kind of kept going and I realized, okay, I'm just going to slow it down. Today is not necessarily about getting the miles in, it's just about kind of having some sort of, light jog, light recovery. So I just kept running, kept pushing through, and it kind of made me think. I was just kind of laughing as I was thinking about this that the 20 miles yesterday was, around 3 hours, and that almost seemed easy. But just 1 minute into a 4-mile run, it felt really hard. And going through this run, I had to like focus so much more on each mile, on every breath, on every step. And it's just kind of weird to me or funny to me that a 4 mile run or a 5 mile run can be harder than a 20-mile run. And as I'm reflecting on it, I think that this is kind of part of the process of training for an endurance event. And, a lot of people will maybe see like a 20-mile run on Strava and they'll be like blown away and they'll just breeze past a 4 mile run or a 5 mile run. But to me, the true gains are made in pushing through a difficult 4 mile run or a 5 mile run more so than an easy 20-mile run. And after going through this process, I'm almost more proud of myself for pushing through a hard 4 mile run than the easy 20-mile run. And it just seems kind of weird, but it's just something that I'm thinking about, which is just around the whole process of training for an endurance event. And, this process that you need to commit yourself to is similar to the process that you need to commit yourself to if you're trying to be successful in any area of your life. And I think that a run like today, where I was actually supposed to go for 5, but I just told myself that I was going to go based on how I was feeling, that I ended up just doing 4. But like I said, it was hard. Had to focus like on each mile, and once I got to the end, I was pretty exhausted. I was pretty tired. But like I said, this whole, this run has kind of made me think about the whole process. And to me, I think it's important to think about how effective goals aren't really just based on the end result. They're basically built on commitments to the process. And this commitment to the process is completely under your control, even if the end result can't be. And the only way to have a commitment is to begin, is to get started, is to push through. And so, I really try and commit myself to the process of training for an endurance event rather than just the end result. And, I think that that is more clear and more evident today for me than any other run or any other day because it's not just about showing up on race day and racing 50 miles or showing up and doing Everesting 29029. I have committed myself to the process, to the daily grind, to pushing myself through the days when it's hard, the days when it's not easy, because I know if I commit myself to that process and I focus on my goals on a day by day process, day after day, week after week, month after month, the end result is going to take care of itself. And so that's just kind of one thought that I have after going through an easy 20-mile run yesterday and a hard 4 mile run, that it's not about the goal. It's all about committing yourself to the process. And so as I bring it back to you, just want you to ask yourself, are you committed to the result or are you committed to the process, the day by day process, the day by day grind? And if you just had a day where you're just like struggling, remind yourself that it's all about the process. And if you focus on the process, the end result will take care of itself. And so that is my message for today. If you found any sort of value in it, let me know what you think by leaving a 5-star review. I would extremely deeply appreciate that. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later.